Hello guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. In this video, I'm going to discuss the establishment of modern codes of football. English public schools were the first to codify football games. So let's start. In particular, they devised the first offside rules during the late 18th century. In the earliest manifestations of these rules, players were off their side if they simply stood between the ball and the goal, which was which was their objective. Players were not allowed to pass the ball forward either by foot or by hand. They could only dribble with their feet or advance the ball in a scrum or similar formation. However, offside laws began to diverge and develop differently at each school, as is shown by the rules of football from Winchester, Rugby, Harrow, and Cheltenham during between 1810 and 1850. The first known codes in the sense of a set of rules were those of Eton in 1815 and Eldenham in 1825. During the early 19th century, most working class people in Britain had to work 6 days a week, often for over 12 hours a day. They had neither the time nor the inclination to engage in sport for recreation, and at the time, many children were part of the labor force. Feast day football played on the streets was in decline. Public school boys who enjoyed some freedom for work became the inventors of organized football games with formal codes of rules. Football was adopted by a number of public schools as a way of encouraging competitiveness and keeping youth fit. Each school drafted its own rules, which varied widely between different schools and were changed over time with each new intake of pupils. Two schools of thought developed regarding rules. Some schools favored a game in which the ball could be carried, while others preferred a game where kicking and dribbling the ball was promoted. The division into these two camps was partly the result of circumstances in which the games were played. For example, Charterhouse and Westminster at the time had restricted playing areas. The boys were confined to playing their ball game within the school cloisters, making it difficult for them to adopt rough and tumble running games. William Webb Ellis, a pupil at Rugby School, is said to have, with a fine disregard for the rules of football, as played in his time, first took the ball in his arms and ran with it, thus creating the distinctive feature of rugby game in 1823. This act is usually said to be the beginning of rugby football, but there is little evidence that it occurred, and most sports historians believe the story to be apocryphal. The act of taking the ball in his arms is often misinterpreted as picking the ball up, as it is widely believed that Webb Ellis' crime was handling the ball. As in modern association football, however, handling the ball at the time was often permitted and in some cases compulsory. The rule for which Webb Ellis showed disregard was running forward with it, as the rules of his time only allowed a player to retreat backwards or kick forwards. The boom in rail transport in Britain during the 1840s meant that people were able to travel further and with less inconvenience that they ever had before. So this is all about today's video. Thanks for giving us your precious time. I hope this video will be informative for you. Please like, comment and share this video and subscribe our channel.